I think I can guess that one. I think you can. So there was just enough power to zap me back from Earth to here, to tell you to go all the way, and then go all the way to Earth and do what I couldn't do because of this Time Eddy thing. And that's why we need him. He's a Time Lord. He can do whatever it is he does, all Time Lordy, and rescue us. But he needs to go back to where it all went wrong and put it right then. And for that to happen, he sort of needs you. Ah, of course he does, she sighed. What body is he in, by the way? I keep seeing him in the weirdest of orders, and it's very confusing. No idea. With any luck, it'll be a new one to me. The other woman touched her own hand. It seemed to be fading in and out of existence. I think I'm beginning to break up. I really need you to get going, or I'm going to be dispersed into the space-time vortex, and that would be a real shame after everything I've done to avoid that over the years. She reached down to the floor and put something down. It seemed to be a piece of rock. Utterly unimpressive, just straightforward rock, with maybe a slight white line of crystal threaded through it. She looked up. When I'm gone, you're safe to pick it up. Keep it safe and never let it go. It'll take you to me when you're ready. And how will I know when that will be? It reads, signatures, biological signatures. Once everyone that it knows needs to be here, whoosh, your journey begins. Okay. And again, I ask, how will I know when that time comes? You won't. So keep it with you and be prepared. I imagine it will be very soon, though. 'Cause, life's like that. I can't tell you anything more than that. Of course. I know how this works. Sort of. Maybe. Now, look. Listen, if this all goes well, there's something else I need you to do for me. Well, for us, I suppose. Which is? Break the first law of time. Completely and utterly. Why would I do that? It'll all become clear eventually, I hope. Now then, I think that's everything I need to say. No, you haven't said anything. Well, nothing that makes sense. You have to tell me about... Sorry, I have to go, or I'm going to completely dissipate, and I'd rather try and hold myself together till you get here and put things right. She nodded. Okay, you pop back to the future. I've always wanted to say that too, and I got it right. And I'll make sure it all goes to plan here. She peered closer. How far from the future are you, anyway? Not much. Why? You look older than I remember. Cheeky cow. And the other woman vanished. You know what? There are days when I just hate my life. The first woman muttered to no one in particular. Elsewhere in the universe, things were coming into alignment. Thousands of years ago, a lump of ordinary-looking rock, threaded through with equally ordinary-looking crystal lattices, fell out of the sky above the planet Earth, hit another piece of rock, did a bit of damage, and got itself buried at the foot of a mountain, observed by a solitary dark-skinned human, wearing not very much in the way of clothing bar a small white piece of hide, whose friends hadn't worked out how to invent a calendar yet. In the early 20th century, by which time the planet's indigenous population had worked out how to make calendars and use them quite frequently, a German amateur archaeologist and his family were getting off a ship at the port of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. They had travelled a long way, for a long time, and were not in the best of moods. The man was nervous, always looking over his shoulder. The woman was just angry at everything. The young son was still amused by something that had happened 3 days previously. He had started an argument with an English child aboard the ship about some toy soldiers the Englander owned, and, having lost the argument, proceeded to pick up the victor's toy soldiers and throw them overboard, where they rapidly sank to the bottom of the South Pacific. In London, very early in the 21st century, an alien from the planet Cadet, who really had no right to be on Earth in this time period, he was from 6 centuries further on and quite a few galaxies across, licked a postage stamp and stuck it on the back of a postcard showing a massive shopping mall on it, then popped the postcard into a red pillar box. He stepped back into the road and got clipped by a black cab. He hopped